Alright, let's talk about Sworn. If you haven't heard of it, it's a brand new action roguelite taking place in Arthurian legend. King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, Merlin. It's got tons of build variety, plus it has co-op. I'm gonna show you a run I did in a little while, but first of all, this video is sponsored by the publisher Team 17. Thank you guys very much. They also gave me an early key for it, so I got to pump some time into it before it came out. I think I'm sitting at something around 30 hours now. So not a huge amount of time with it, but enough to know that this is actually my favorite game so far of this type. Yes, I'm serious. And I have played a lot of Hades. It just does so many things right and makes so many improvements to the formula that I think it's the most fun of all of these games to play. I played it for like 6 hours straight yesterday on stream, and if it does look interesting to you, then you can check it out on Steam. I'll put a link down below in the video description and in a pinned comment. Ixala is also running a promo, and you can save money by buying multiple copies at once if you want to buy some for your friends, and then they could just pay you back later. Hopefully, right? Anyway, I have my special link to that down below as well. It's only in early access, but it's already feature complete. You can do a full run. There are, of course, some things that I hope they add over time. Secrets. But what is there is plentiful and awesome. What is there is, again, 4-player online co-op, which I have not experienced yet, but I can only imagine is tons of fun. 4 unlockable starting classes that each play differently: the Roguish Vigilante, the Holy Monk, the Tanky Rook, and the Glass Cannon Mage, the Spectre. In addition to this, each of these classes also has 4 unlockable weapons of their own, plus 4 unlockable sub-weapons. That's 16 different weapons and 16 different sub-weapons. Math. And then there's something like 200 plus different perks or god boons from the Pantheon of Fae. So far, they're planning multiple content updates during early access that, they might add entire new starting classes. That'd be cool. It's got minions, it's got unique challenges, multiple difficulty levels, tons of other stuff to unlock, including 5 different skill trees. Oh, and you can lock onto enemies to help you aim. That is just, for me, such a welcome feature in a game like this, since I played these with a controller. But anyway, now let's just let the game speak for itself. This run that I'm about to show you was crazy. There are some very cool synergies in this game. First, I decided to pick the Monk. Before this, she wasn't my favorite class. That honor goes to the Rook with the cannon, which is so crunchy, it makes you feel like you're playing as Doom Guy. It's so good.
Get away. Boom. Clobber.
But for this run, I picked the Humble Monk, along with her magic staff weapon and crystal turret sub-weapon, which, spoilers, was a very good call. Right out of the gates, I was offered a boon from Gogmagog. I guess now is a pretty good time to mention that I might and probably will actually butcher all of these names, so I apologize. It was immediately apparent how powerful this was gonna be, because putting Gogmagog's boon on my crystal turret meant that I could just focus on dodging, while my crystal turrets did not only damage, but encased my enemies in solid rock. I made very quick work of the next room, just absolutely obliterating a squadron of snakes that attempted to slither in my way. And then I was offered a boon by none other than Mab, Queen of Spiders, allowing my heavy stamp attack to envenom enemies. After battling my way through the very next room, I was offered a Sword in the Stone, a powerful boon. And it was at this moment that I realized I probably wasn't going to use that Mab boon I just picked up in the previous room. I mean, who really cares if you're now rapid-firing, rock-encasing, enemy-freezing crystal turrets now do slightly less damage? No. The answer is no. I don't care. Oh, that was the first mini-boss, by the way. After powering up this monstrosity even more, and then taking a quick break to play some Stardew Valley, I was offered a chance to exchange some of my life for a powerful buff. I mean, is that really a choice? Down here, all I had to do was just smash these beacons to bits and then make myself vulnerable to Morgana, and she told me what a cool guy I was, and that allowed me to hit things even harder. Remember that damage we traded away back at the beginning of the run? And now it's time for the first real boss, Gawain, Butcher of Waral. Gawain, also known in many other forms and spellings, is a character in Arthurian legend in which he is King Arthur's nephew and one of the premier knights of the Round Table. The prototype of Gawain is mentioned under the name Gwalchmai in the earliest Welsh sources. He has subsequently appeared in many Arthurian tales in Welsh, Latin, French, English, Scottish, Dutch, German, Spanish, and Italian, notably as the protagonist in the Middle English poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Here, you have to worry about his spinny attack and his giant explosions. He's got this really big... Oh. And now it's time to enter the Cornwall Township, where we can see the sights and meet the locals in the local pub and kill them. There certainly are a lot of mosquitoes, dress accordingly, and rats. Zombie rats? British slang for clothing. Yeah. Make sure you wear a jumper and some dacks. All right. Getting serious now. Merlin! Look, guys, we're not going to take the legendary. I know it's legendary, but I don't even have an ultimate. And I don't even think my ultimate will charge because we're not even actively attacking things most of the time. But look, your spell is 30% stronger. And now my light attack inflicts stagger as well. Oh my, those are some big rats. The Mauler rats, huh? Up until now, I've been pretty much just steamrolling through this entire game with this build. We've been getting really lucky RNG. But now this is the first fight that I actually took a decent amount of damage on. I guess because I just wasn't careful. You gotta, you know, it doesn't matter how powerful your build is in a roguelite. Don't let that hubris get to your head. But I mean, you know. Took a couple of big hits. These guys do a lot of damage, but after that, just smushed them like the rest. Sheesh. There's so many mosquitoes in this area. Is that how it really is in Cornwall? This reminds me of Florida. One time I went camping in the Everglades. That was just the most amazing idea I ever had in my life. Truly. Oh look, Gobmagog again. Increase all stagger you inflict by 30%. Yes, please. Yes, please. Look, he's laughing at my jokes. Boss number 2, Sir Percival, the Pestilent Overseer. Bring it, Percy. So, he's kind of cool. He just kind of zips and zooms around the battlefield. Well, he tries to anyway, when I'm not freezing him or encasing him in rock. He summons other knights. Spectral, pestilent knights. Pustule. I think I was trying to combine pustule with pestilent. Anyway, to make pestilent. But that makes sense with him. I mean, that's what he is. Anyway, he summons these knights. They try to charge you with their lances as well. But I am the ultimate power in these lands now, and what I say goes, so he had to die. Our next stop on this tour of terror is the very Lovecraftian Deep Harbor, filled with all manner of fish folk, which I don't know if the Arthurian legends have any kind of imagery like this. But just as Hades made me study up on my Greek mythology, playing this game already has me looking up all kinds of Arthurian legends like the Fey folk. I want to read about Gog-Magog. I want to read about Mab. Anyway, at the end of this fight, we got another sword in the stone with dual core. Your spell lasts longer and fires more. So, at this point, not only does my spell do just a buttload of extra damage, but it shoots faster and now lasts even longer. As if I couldn't get powerful enough, I then got the ability to increase my stun duration by 50%, followed by the ability to restore my mana by hitting enemies with light and heavy attacks, before finally being graced by Gog-Magog again with the ability to detonate creatures that I stun with my spell. That shoots very rapidly and for a very long time, each crystal. Okay, let's do this. Our penultimate boss fight is with none other than Lady Bedivere, the Abyss Commander. This fight gets pretty chaotic. Not only does she swing her spear at you in melee range, but she also summons multiple spheres of water that she can fire across the entire arena, which is composed of an inner circle and an outer circle. You might be tempted to stay within the inner circle after she starts summoning water sharks along the outer circle. But no, soon enough, another couple of deep ones show up and they start attacking you from within the center circle. So yeah, the fight is extremely chaotic and I don't really do it justice here because I do defeat her very quickly because my DPS at this point is just insane, but I'm also just stun locking everything very rapidly. See, that's the thing we want in roguelites though. You want the ability to feel powerful, to stumble across some mega build that just destroys the entire game, like this one that I'm doing in this video. It's not fun to do this in every run, of course not. You want to be challenged. But in my opinion, as somebody who has played Noita for 10,000 hours, amassing huge power is a ton of fun. Anyway, with Lady Bedivere slain, we are now challenging the Knights of the Round Table themselves. Just all of the other ones in one go around the round table itself. This is basically a wave-based fight where you get to pick your rewards between fights. But of course, you know, we just completely obliterated this entire thing. I wonder who's behind this door. King Arthur himself is the final boss of the game, at least right now it is. Again, the game just entered early access a few days ago, so there's no telling how this is going to advance. And of course, it's very important to make note that this is only the first difficulty level of 5. Each difficulty level progressively adds more curses to your run, i.e. each room is going to have a bunch of crazy stuff going on besides fighting. So there might be a different ending if you can finish the final difficulty level. Speaking of crazy, look at this final boss fight. There's just stuff flying all over the place, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And now, after completely making a fool of the first phase, it's time for me to almost ruin everything and die during the second phase. I didn't really do a very good job dodging most of this stuff, and it does a lot of damage. But, you know, I wasn't too worried. I did have 4 extra lives after this one. We did miss a couple of his really cool attacks, especially in phase 1, because I did defeat him just way too quickly. Just a testament to how powerful the crystal turret with Gogmagog is on it. It's insane. And apparently Bera, the frozen witch, pretty powerful as well on this thing. Anyway, with a final groan, the corrupted king of Camelot collapses. And now, the majesty of the Holy Grail is mine. What? Well, so much for that idea. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching this far. I want to thank Team 17 for sponsoring this video. Thank you very much. Remember, I have a link down below for you to check it out on Steam, and there's also a link to Ixala where you can pick up the game and multiple copies of the game at a discounted price. And as always, if you did really enjoy this video and you're not already subscribed and you feel like it, you can hit that subscribe button or just drop a like on the video. That helps a lot. As always, you've heard this a million times before. Thank you. I hope you have an amazing day. See ya.